This video is a short section taken from an episode of the Ash Bros video game podcast. To listen to the full episode on YouTube or any of your regular podcast apps, check out the links in the description below. So on to my number 5 now. My number 5 game is a game called Heavy Rain.
Oh, Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we spoke a little bit earlier, the themes that you showed me many of these games. This is one that I learned about from you, because I can remember going around to your house and you had the demo of it before it came out on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, PS3,
Yeah. And I played it and I was like, wow, this is cool. You know, this is something unbelievable, because it was, at the time, I wasn't used to games where you were so free, like you could make all these choices and you have so much control and stuff. And, you know, the decisions you make were impacting, you know, on the storyline, etc. And I was kind of blown away with it. And I'll be honest, it's been so long since I've played this. It has been quite a few years since I played this game, and I really want to kind of get back on it now. It's now available on PC, because it was only ever a PlayStation exclusive for like years. But now that it's on PC, more of us can play it. And for anyone who hasn't played it, what it is, I mean, it's really hard to explain, isn't it, really?
it's kind of,
like, the genre, I don't think I could. It's very dark. It's very gritty. Ultimately, it's about a young boy who goes missing, and they believe it's at the hands of someone called the Origami Killer, who is a serial killer who takes young boys. They turn up, they're drowned, and they're dead. You know, very, as I say, dark and gritty, you know. And he leaves a kind of piece of origami on their body, and that's why he's called the Origami Killer. And with this one, you control multiple characters. So you control the father of the boy who's gone missing. You control an FBI agent investigating. You control a woman who's a journalist, and you control a private detective who's investigating as well. And you kind of interchange between all 4 characters as the kind of narrative progresses. And you're generally just trying to discover, you know, where is the boy, who is the Origami Killer, etc. But you have complete control over your actions and your decisions and what you say. And so it can lead in many different paths. You know, it can diverge many different ways. Characters aren't necessarily going to survive. So I remember on my first playthrough, one of my characters, and I won't say which one to avoid any spoilers, died because I let them die. I wasn't quick enough to react. And so you can get multiple different endings. So it's really cool. And I just remember being blown away by it at the time, because it was unlike anything else I'd ever played. Don't forget, this was 2009. So, you know, compared to games today where there's a lot more of that, back in those days, there was just less of that. And it just really blew my mind. What do you think? I remember you playing it as well.
Heavy Rain is just one of the GOAT games for sure. I remember, I mean, there's so many points I want to pick up, really. Replayability, you're talking about the amount of endings you get.
Definitely.
You always wanted to, like, get different endings and find out what other stories could go down.
Yep.
Consequences for choices, it actually made you care about being good at the game, which a lot of games, in my case anyway, I sort of ease through and like, oh, if I don't do this, then, you know, I'll just respawn.
Because, like, you know, you're going to die, and then you'll just come back, and then that's it. You can just go again and
exactly.
be careless.
Where this game, it messes up your story if you're not careful. Like, if you want a good ending, you cannot mess up. Like, and I loved that, you know. And I also, it was one of the first good games that had a real, like, choice-driven narrative.
Yeah.
It was one of the pioneers of that sort of genre in a way, I think, and it did it brilliantly. I mean, it was really ahead of its time in terms of storyline. I thought,
100%.
A brilliant choice.
Yeah, and like you say, with that whole, it makes your choices matter and stuff. You know, with regards to being like the FBI agent or the detective, you could, you know, you'd investigate crime scenes and you could miss out on evidence that would help you find a key. You know, you really have to be thorough, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
those little things, those intricate things that I just think as we say, just makes it so brilliant and so ahead of its time.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And I also love the different perspectives you get, because all this story is integrated between these different characters. But
yeah,
not only that, you're getting different perspectives of like the case being moved on. You're getting like the personal hurt of the dad.
yeah,
You're getting like the more police side of the detective. It was just done brilliantly, honestly. Yeah.
yeah. So we'd definitely advise any and all of you
Yeah.
to give
Yeah.
that a shot if you got either
100%.
PC or PlayStation.